This is To The Point podcast. My name is Aurel and I'm a social worker and life coach with a huge passion for nutrition and fitness. So this podcast is about lifestyle, fitness and self-development in all areas of life to help you get in shape mentally and physically. So I strive to be as authentic as possible, and I believe the best way to do that is to talk about things that I have personally experienced. However, just like you, I'm still learning and I'm still improving. So from time to time, we will be having experts and like-minded people on this show to discuss certain topics. So I truly hope that the message I'm sharing inspires and motivates you to improve your life. Now let's get to the point. Welcome to the first episode of To The Point podcast. Before we get into today's topic, I have a question for you. So do you ever feel like no matter how hard you try, the goal you're going after seems to be so far away and it feels like you're stuck in the same place? If so, then today's episode is for you. Because today we're going to talk about how to create and live the life of your dreams. But one more thing before we get started. If you're looking for a magic pill to be a solution to all your problems, this is probably not the podcast for you. Because most of the things I talk about are basically things that are hiding in plain sight, and my goal here is to open your eyes for you to see them, because most of the times we get so overwhelmed by our own thoughts and our own lives that things that are obvious just tend to be overlooked. So as I mentioned at the beginning of this podcast, today we're going to talk about how to create and live the life of your dreams. So the first thing you need to do is realize that you're a creator. You create your life with every decision you make. And I know, of course, we can't control everything that happens to us, but the majority of the things that happen and our current situations and circumstances are consequences of our past actions. And basically, since you're already in this situation, the best thing to do is accept where you are and start taking actions to change what you don't like. Because the same way that you made decisions that actually put you in a bad position, you can start being aware of ways to make smart decisions to put you in a better position. The second thing is you need to have a why. And I know you probably heard this many times, but the why is really, really important when you're working on goals and achieving them, because the why is going to keep you motivated every time you feel like you don't want to do this. You don't want to work on your goals today because you feel such and such and such. Thinking about your why usually gets you fired up to get up, take action, to make the necessary changes to improve your life. So have a why. And I heard someone said, I think it was Eric Thomas, this motivational speaker, and he said, if your why doesn't bring tears to your eyes, it's not big enough. So make sure you have a why, and this is the thing that's going to keep you motivated every time you feel like giving up, every time you feel like quitting. When it's raining outside, you don't want to run, you don't want to work out, you don't want to get to the gym. Your why is going to keep you motivated. All right? So the third thing you need to do is change the way you see yourself. So basically, you need to become a better version of yourself. And probably most of the things you're doing right now, I'm going to call them your habits, are not getting you the results you want. That's why you're not where you want to be yet. And one of the ways to change your identity or the way you look at yourself is to change the way you talk about yourself and talk to yourself. And what I mean by this is take a second and think about some of the moments you talk very negatively about yourself. Let's say you call yourself fat, unhealthy, you can't stop smoking, basically all the negative things. Instead of saying those things, replace them with the opposite. For example, I'm a healthy person. I'm doing my best to become a better version of myself. And the more you do this, the more you get used to it, and the more your body, your energy starts vibrating on the same level you're talking to yourself. It's the same way as talking negative, your body and energy is going to vibrate on a negative. And why would you do that to yourself? So start changing your self-talk, and you will definitely see some improvements. And in the beginning, probably not. And probably you will be thinking like, this is freaking ridiculous. But trust me, it works. And the next thing you need to do is you need to start taking action. Ask yourself, how many self-help books, how many self-help podcasts can you listen to and just sit there and absorb the information without actually taking action? It doesn't matter how many podcasts or self-improvement videos you consume, you're going to be in the same exact spot 5 years from now if you don't take action. Don't wait until you're ready, because you'll never be ready. I'm going to tell you something, a personal story. I've had this idea of a podcast for a very, very long time, and I didn't start because I was scared of what people are going to think. I didn't have the right mic, which are all BS excuses because you can record a podcast with your phone, but I use that as an excuse to hold me back. And until one day I got tired of being sick and tired of myself, and I just started. And I know this is the first episode. It's probably gonna suck, but you know what? I don't care, because one thing I know is before I die, I want to have something that I build up for myself. And I want to share my message and inspire people to get started. No matter how big or small your goal is, you start with one step at a time, one step a day, and eventually that will build up, and before you know it, you've accomplished your goals. Not to say that it's going to be easy, because it's not going to be easy. That's why you need to have your why. So that's it for this podcast. I really hope that this inspired you to finally start taking actions towards your goals. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure you're subscribed so you're notified when there's a new upload. Also, leave a comment, share this with your friends and family, and thank you so much for tuning in, and I hope this episode provided you with the knowledge you were looking for so you keep improving. Until next time.